I did nothing wrong. Philip repeated the same phrase he had already repeated multiple times throughout this week. Indeed, his actions definitely did not spark the war. This was all a ploy by the Sorcerer's Kingdom. If he thought about it that way, everything would finally make logical sense. He was used. Perhaps the reason why his lands did not produce an abundant harvest and why his proposals were never implemented was because of the schemes of the Sorcerer's Kingdom. They must have either paid those guys off or spoke ill of me. I knew they did something against me. Of course, that had to be it. Philip got off his bed and extended his hand towards the nightstand. He picked up the bottle on it and swirled it around, but he knew from the weight alone that it was free of water already. Philip clicked his tongue and looked around his room. Scattered all over the floor were empty bottles of liquor. Although the room might be filled with a strong scent of alcohol, Philip's nose had long adapted to it, so he would not be able to tell the difference. He randomly chose a bottle from the ground and held it to his lips, but not even a single drop went down his throat. Fuck. He threw the bottle. At the sound of the bottle shattering, he became even more frustrated. Oi, I'm out of booze. Even if he yelled, no one would serve him alcohol anymore. Usually there would be maids, Helma's people, on standby in this room, but now that he thought about it, he felt like he had not seen her in a long time. Bring more booze. He yelled once more. His body wobbled around. Oh. He winced as he supported himself on his bed. Rather than his drunkenness, his body was probably more sluggish due to the fact that he had not left this room for many days now. Philip walked slowly to the door. Oi, where the hell is everybody? He yelled as he kicked the door violently. He did not use his fist out of fear that it could hurt. No response. He clicked his tongue, opened the door, and yelled at the top of his lungs once more. Are you all deaf? I said I am out of booze. Bring more. Still no response. Philip left the room in a rage. The house was quiet. His father and his older brother's family had all moved elsewhere because Philip wanted to make use of the main house. Only servants remained here other than him. While it was a noble's mansion, it was only one befitting a mere baron. He could easily reach the dining room from his own room. As he opened the door to the dining room, Philip's eyes widened. That was because he had noticed a woman in white, sitting upon one of the chairs. Whoa, are you awake now? You took so long that I was almost about to head over to get you myself. That was the Prime Minister of the Sorcerer's Kingdom, Albedo. Her smile remained unchanged from the first time he had met her. She did not appear to be mad at Philip for what he had done. Suddenly, the thought that the Sorcerer's Kingdom probably did not even give a damn about what he had done surfaced in Philip's mind. Indeed. If they were truly mad with him, they would have begun their invasion with Philip's domain first. They had not done so however, so in other words, they were not mad at him. On the contrary, they should be grateful to him for giving them a reason to start a war with the kingdom. Perhaps she was there to express their gratitude. No. Maybe she had not found out yet. Maybe they did not know that it was Philip who did all of that. Albedo's smile was infectious, causing Philip to smile at her too. Thank you for coming over to such a wretched place, Albedo-sama. I cannot believe that you had to wait here. I will definitely scold those servants later. Albedo was stunned for a moment, before smiling wryly. To have reached this extent is honestly impressive. I am somewhat in awe, Fufu. I am here to finish what must be done, but before that, I have brought you a present. Do you wish to open it? Placed on top of the table was a white box at least 50 centimeters wide. Philip regretted that he had stayed in bed for so long as he lifted the top of the box. A wonderful floral fragrance made his nose itch. With bated breath of what valuable item could be in this box, Philip opened it up and peeked inside. It was Baron Delvin and Baron Rokerson's heads. Had they experienced unbearable pain before they died? Their contorted expressions made him feel intense revulsion. Albedo calmly spoke to Philip, whose body stiffened. To have the gall to besmirch me. We had planned to prepare an idiot, but never in my mind would I believe that someone as stupid as you could exist. Whoosh, that was the sound of Albedo standing up. Her face was all smiles, but now that things had progressed to this point, even Philip knew. She was absolutely furious. If he did not escape this place, things would not end well for him. Philip turned around to run, but in his panic his leg tripped over the other, causing him to fall to the ground with a loud bang. Clop, clop, the sound of footsteps got closer. She had already made her way to him. Now then, let's go. No, I don't want to go. Putting up the minimal amount of resistance, he curled up into a ball. Do you seriously believe that acting like a spoiled child could get you out of this situation? He was pulled along by his ear, which sent pain to his brain so intense that he began to question if his ear was about to be torn off. It hurts. Stop. Then walk. Here, stand up. Philip wanted to push Albedo's hand, which still held onto his ear, away. However, even though her hands were thin and delicate as expected of a woman, her grip strength was far stronger than his. It hurts. He was pulled into a standing position by his ear. His vision was blurred by his tears, yet Philip still punched towards Albedo's face. However, his fists were easily caught mid-air, and then, a force strong enough to crush bones was applied to his fist, which began to make crunching sounds. If you just walk, I will not crush your hands, how about that? I got it. I got it. I will walk. Please don't do that again. The force on his hand was lifted. Why? What have I done? Philip's sorrowful tears streamed down like a waterfall. He had tried his best at everything, but not only was he not met with success, he had never been treated like this before. Why was he victim to such violence? Why had nobody come to help him? Had he been sold out to the Sorcerer's kingdom for other safety? They were all cowards. The whole lot of them, cowards. Albedo did not react to Philip crying for his fist and ear's sake. She just walked forward as if he did not exist at all. Philip followed along without resistance, since his ear was still in her hand. They walked outdoors from the main entrance. Eek. Philip shrieked at the sight in front of him. A forest had popped up in front of the mansion. But unlike a normal forest, this one was not made of grass and trees. A large amount of strangely shaped trees were there. They were like stakes with hands and feet. Impalement. The villagers had all been impaled. Men, women, old or young were all impaled on stakes. Not a single one of them was spared. All of them were impaled from the rectum to the mouth. All of them told of their sufferings through their expressions, no exceptions. Blood spilt out from every orifice and puddles of blood formed at the base of the stakes. When had they done something like this? It was impossible for Philip to not have noticed this going on. This is not a dream. I used magic to soundproof your room. It must have been really silent, was it not? Ha, if you were even a smidge smarter, you might have noticed something wrong, but from what I have seen, you were completely clueless up till now. Philip tried to put all of his strength in his hands to release his ear from Albedo's grip again. Albedo reacted by punching his face as she said to him, I had considered letting the villagers execute you themselves, but that would be boring. That which I admire, Ain Sama, had placed heavy emphasis on practical experience and training. That is why I wanted to test out some intel gathering torture methods on you. You should be of some use to me. Upon seeing Albedo's expression, which was a smile that looked like it could tear her own face off, Philip lost consciousness. Ha, this man, really? Ha, fine. After all, your father had requested me to let that idiot taste everybody's pain. I shall keep my promise to him. Philip could no longer hear what she had said.